straight into the camera and tell all you youngsters that are out there, I don't care if you're from the Red River Valley and you think it ends right there. I'm going to tell you that if you're a young man and a young lady and you've got a degree and you've got an inkling of getting ahead in the world, there is no place better to be than Western North Dakota right now. I am sorry. This is where the opportunity is at. We had the first boom was going on, and there literally were 200 drilling rigs here working, you know, and the oil was busy, and that was great to get started with your business back then. And then, of course, there were times in the time since then where there was no drilling rigs going here. So we've seen significant ups and downs and ins and outs in the economy.
In '51, that seemed quiet, really quiet now when you look back. But they first discovered oil then in '51 at the Iverson well out by Tioga. So it was kind of a slow development then. Everything was vertical. And it took 4, 5, 6 months to drill a well. And now, of course, every 21 days they're drilling a hole.
I don't see it disappearing at all. Many of these oil companies are spending hundreds of millions of dollars building gas plants, building storage facilities. Back in 1981 when I came to town, most major oil companies were renting a building on a month-to-month basis. So when it slowed down, they left town. That's why the bust happened overnight. They are spending hundreds of millions of dollars out here building big facilities, rail facilities and things like that for sustained growth for a number of years.
About the oil field, it's changed a lot. I came here because of the pace, the peace, and the purpose. And since the Bakken took off in the Williston Basin, the pace is off the charts, the peace is shattered, and the purpose, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Or what should you do if you want to come out to Williston to get a job and kind of start off from here?
Okay, well, bring some money. Don't come out here broke. Apartments are higher cost, 700 square foot apartments, higher cost here than it is in New York City. So don't come out here with $300 in your pocket and a prayer. That's not going to get it. So I would say $5,000. If you don't have $5,000, along with a skill, either something in the industry or something degree related where you can find a job, preferably get that taken care of ahead of time, along with housing. And I don't know, if you want a Toyota, if you want to do the little Prius thing, fine, but this is actually F-150. You know, Dodge Ram kind of country. Prius will be shaking to bits within a couple of miles down some of these country roads. And if you're a guy, bring your own girlfriend, because it's like 40 to 1 out here. So other than that, I just think if you have a good work ethic and you got some smarts and you're quick on your feet and you're ready to pull your weight and a little bit more, you'll do just fine here. I think if I could change anything to return to some semblance of what it was like back then, would be to go grab some people at the state capitol and say, you know, we really, you know, we're not going to fire you because you didn't do anything any more than we're going to fire you because you didn't know how to do what needed to be done. But we're going to get some people in here that know how to do this and to plan and to look at it the way Art Link did during the coal gasification days and the coal energy plays of the 70s. That was a seamless impact performance by the state of North Dakota, and for some reason that wheel has been abandoned. I mean, we used to have a full-size impact wheel. Now we got the little stupid donuts for all of them. We got them on every tire out here. So that would be the thing I would do, would be to dial that back and say, hey, this is a world-class oil and gas development. And it was known back in 2006 when the RECs were planning their power distribution to energize all these wells. These companies told them how many wells, where they were going to drill them. So this is no big surprise. That's the number one thing if communication people come in here. Don't let anybody blow that smoke at you. They knew exactly what was coming. And the other thing for communications people, quit using the word
You know, all of our police forces have expanded and stuff like that. Everywhere's the Williams County and the local police force. You know, are there issues in Williston? Yes, there are. Just like there are in Fargo, just like there are in Grand Forks. I was told just recently by someone that our crime rate, if you will, is still less than Fargo's is per capita. You know, things like that. Are there some rough and tumble guys around the edges that are working in the oil patch? Yes. But I want to make a comment here that I've said before publicly, and I mean this very sincerely. 48 out of 50 of the people that I meet in my office that are from out of state, looks to me I could live right next door to them just like anybody else. You know? Those 2 out of 50 that are a half a bubble off center, I'll be honest with you, we had 2 out of 50 native North Dakotans that were a half a bubble off center before that anyway. And I say that tongue in cheek, but I really mean it. I mean, would I advise a young lady to go jogging at midnight by herself? No. Should she do that in Grand Forks or Fargo or Bismarck or anywhere else either? Probably not. You know, let's face it. Should you be careful? Yes. You know, do you have to be so careful that you can't go to the grocery store or go to church or go to a basketball game? Of course not. That's silly. That's silly.
They're nice enough people, the vast majority, but when the economy hit the skids around the country, those people around the country, they didn't lay off their best people. So I'm just saying what we got here is probably not the cream of the crop from Michigan, Idaho, Washington, Utah, everywhere they came from.
I think Williston is a great community. It always has been. I think what we're seeing now is that all of this construction and all of this turmoil, it's like trying to remodel your whole house and live in it at the same time. And I mean, for a while it seems really chaotic. But at some point in time, we're really going to have a very nice community.
Years ago, Williston was a horrible place to live. It was tough. It was just a grind. And now, I'm not saying some of those things are a whole lot better. Lines, there's still lines, and traffic's a little bit more than what we can handle. But you see improvement. You see a light at the end of the tunnel, and you really get a sense from the community that we're on the way up. I mean, we went through a couple tough years where it was a struggle, but now people are excited here in general about a lot of things. The future of Williston, I think that we are going to continue to grow. I believe in what the experts say. Experts say that there's enough oil for this boom to sustain 20 years easily, and I really feel that even when that production starts to slow down, and when drilling new holes starts to slow down, but they're still producing and they need less employees because they got less holes to drill. By that point, I think there's going to be so much more retail, so much more infrastructure in town that the town's going to be able to maintain itself. And I think that one of the things I always say is people. How do you live out there? How do you do that? I really consider myself fortunate. I moved here, like I said, almost 10 years ago, and I really consider myself fortunate that I was here before all this boom happened. And I think it's pretty exciting. I think this is history in the making. So 5 years from now or 10 years from now, if the oil boom goes bust and Williston becomes a ghost town, or if it goes the other direction and it ends up being a town of 50, 75, 100,000 people. Either way, I think it's pretty amazing that I have the opportunity to live through that and experience that, and not something that, not everybody's going to be able to see. I really think I am part of history right now.